I'm pretty sure you're aware that inside SharePoint, you can have a field that is multi-line to any SharePoint list and library. That multi-line text also has an option that you can enable rich text capability like different text fonts, colors, even image, and all the HTML tags, including tables, which is amazing. But the thing is that when you connect the same list to PowerApps and you use edit form, when you add that field only shows you the pure text, or you can enter only text without any formatting simply because PowerApps uses simple text input, which doesn't support anything. So basically, all the capability that SharePoint provides is gone when you bring it to PowerApps. But inside PowerApps, we also have rich text input. Can we bring that rich text input into that edit form? The good news is yes, and in this video, we want to see how we can do it. Let's get into it. Inside SharePoint, I created a list called sample notes. It has one title just like any other SharePoint list. And also I added a field called description, which is multi-line. Let me show you the details of it. So multiple lines of text, and under more options, I checked the rich text so it can have different fonts, colors, and all those stuff. Great. Now, inside PowerApps, I created a simple app that is connected to the same list inside SharePoint, sample notes. And I have two screens. One screen is the simplest thing you can imagine. It is just a gallery, and the items for this gallery is coming directly from sample notes. Nothing special. At the moment, it just shows the title, but I want to show the description here. So let me just expand it a little bit, take this one and this one a little bit higher. So I put it here, and here I want to add the description. And to add description, because it is rich text, I want to select this card and I want to insert HTML text. So when I add this HTML text, it's very easy. I can simply expand this guy here. And for the HTML text, I would say this item dot description. Boom. So I have everything with the original format here. A little bit too large. That's okay. We can make it a little bit smaller. All right. And this one as well. So now here's a question. If I click on this one, it takes me to another screen. I haven't added anything special yet. So if you see this list, unselect, it just navigates to another screen, which is called SCR Edit Notes. And now, when the user clicks on an item, I want to put the selected item in a variable and display it in the other screen. So before we navigate, I would say, let me just expand it so you can see it better, set var underscore current note, comma, and that's going to be the gallery notes, which is this gallery dot selected, and I just close the bracket, semicolon, save, and we're good. So now when I click on this item, when it takes me to the other screen, I have the record that we clicked on it inside a variable. Now this is where the game starts. I want to insert an edit form, click, and this guy should show me the record that I clicked on it, right? So, easy. I should be able to pick the same data source, which is sample notes, and for the item that it's going to display, let me pick the item here. I can put the variable current note that I put it there. Now, I don't need attachments. There is a lot of space here. I don't need to display 3 columns. I just make it 1 column, although it doesn't really make a difference for the work that we are going to do. But here, as you can see, it just shows me the HTML tags and all those things, while I want to see a rich text editor that I can make the updates and save it. And this is where the game starts. Let me go back to my PowerPoint slide. There is a process. I try to put everything in order, so if you just take a screenshot of this one, that's going to be the best note you can refer to, so you can replace a text input with HTML text editor. First, we start with unlocking the data card that contains that rich text. So here, I just get out of it. I pick the data card. Let me just expand it a little bit. We have lots of space here. Let's use it. So first, we unlock this guy. You click on Advanced. Just make sure that the card is selected and unlock it. So step 1 complete. Then I need to add the rich text editor to the data card. So let's do it. Let me just drag it down. And again, make sure the card is selected. I go back here and I pick rich text editor. And it is added here. We don't care about the location or anything else. I just add it and I have a list of properties that I want to set in this slide. I start with Y. Y is literally 5 pixels below this title. So if I want to pick Y for this, first I need to see the name of this control, which is data card key 2. And I come back here. And I say instead of 58 for Y, which is a static value, I would say put this control dot Y plus same control dot height plus 5. How cool is that? So now if I run it, you will see this one is in the proper distance from the top control. We are done with this Y control. X is always 30. That's a default for every control that you put inside the data card. So I pick this one, I just go to X, it is 30, we are good. Now we need to set the width, assuming that this guy is going to be in the center. If distance from this side is 30, from this side it has to be 30. So I pick this guy and I say the width of this control is going to be the width of the parent minus 60, which makes the exact 30 pixels from both sides. Great, we are done up to this point. Now we need to set the default, the value that it's going to display when the form is loaded. Default is going to be the parent default, which is the data card. So I pick this guy again. Oops. I pick this guy again. I really don't need this guy here. Let me just make it bigger so you can see better. I can pick this guy. And default is going to be whatever that is. I take it out and I say parent.default. How cool is that? Now we have everything displayed here. Anything else? Yes. We got to make sure that it matches the parent display mode. So when you load the entire form in edit mode, your rich text is going to be edit. But when you open the form in view mode, this form becomes view mode and it becomes read-only. So just like this, I come here and I say display mode. And instead of fixed edit, I would say parent.display mode. Great. We just save it. And now, after we are done with all these properties, I can delete the text input. The original control that we don't need it anymore. Let me just pick it up and throw it in the garbage. Delete. Done. If you see these red thingy, don't worry about it. So we are done with deleting the text input, then replace the errors with the name of the new rich text editor. What does that mean? Remember we deleted one control and all of a sudden we see these errors, right? If I get the name of this, whatever that is, at the moment it's rich text editor, let me just rename it to rt_description, take a copy of it, right? And I come back here. Oops, I don't need this guy anymore. So let's go through errors one at a time. I click on this one, edit in the formula bar. The update property of the data card is complaining because it says, hey, I was looking for the text value of the text box that you deleted to use it when I update the database. I say, no worries. Now I have a new king in this kingdom, but this guy does not have the text property. It has HTML text. Happy? I just save it. Next. Still, I see this red thingy here. So let's say edit in the formula bar again. Now, this error is for the error message that in case the content is not valid, it's going to show you an error message. I have a complete dissection of all these controls in the data card. In my PowerApps crash course from UI to integration, if you have seen that, probably you exactly know what I'm referring to. At the moment, if you just want to quickly solve this problem, come here and instead of data card value 2, paste the new name of the rich text. Again, paste it here, save it. Do you see any other errors? No, we are done. Boom. I can close this guy. I can go to text title 2. Everything works. I can go back to test title. We are good. Does it really save if I want to update? Let's give it a shot, right? So let me just put a save button here. All right. Let me just put it here. It's a little bit invisible. So if I want to change the font color for this guy, like white, you can see it better. And now when someone clicks on it, unselect, I just say form 1, which is the form that is in this screen. I need to submit this, submit form, and I just close this guy. Save. And when the form is submitted successfully, I pick on success. I want to navigate to my home screen. And you know I love screen.fade. And I just close this guy. Great. Let's see if it really works. Let me just save it, run it. And in the beginning of this guy, I just put my own name. And I want to make it bold because I'm very bold. And I'm not that small. Let me make myself a little bit bigger. So font size, let me make it like 72. All right, this is fantastic. Let me just save it. And great. It is added here. It updated successfully. Now all of a sudden somebody complains that this is too big. No worries. I can make it a little bit smaller this time. And everything works as we expect. All right. Now, does it work when I change the form to view mode? Now, let me add another dummy button here. Let's say insert button. It is added here, right? Maybe it's not the best design, but that's how it is. And for this button, instead of select parent, I say before you select the parent, make view form, and I'm referring to form 1, which is in the other screen. View form switches the form to the view mode, and then I select it. But when someone clicks on this one, it doesn't set it to view form. Great. So let's see if it really works now. If I click on this button, it takes me to this screen, and everything is read-only. It's view only because this rich text input takes the parent display mode, which is the form display mode. So at the moment, it doesn't do anything. But if I click on this guy, now it's not editable because now we are missing something. Because now when someone clicks on this one, I should change the form. Let's say unselect. Again, it takes it to the parent, but before that, I need to switch it to edit form. And again, form 1. And I close. This is how it works. So click on it. If I click on the button, it's read-only. But if I click on this icon, it's going to be editable and I can save it. And that's it. Enjoy. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know where the like button is. Somewhere around that like button, there is also a subscribe button. That's going to make me super happy if I see you click on that. Regardless, please go to the comment section and tell me what you want to see in the future videos. I'm not going to build all of them, but the ones that they bring up good ideas that I see lots of people are interested and lots of people want to see about it will definitely get into my YouTube creation pipeline. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video.